Hey YouTube, BitHead85. I want to talk about maybe three things. First, the first one will be Michelle Bachmann and radical Christianity and how that is a great threat to this country, and how it ties into what they say about the radical Muslims, and that three, we can't demonize all Muslims as if all violent people of a religion represent that religion. They do not represent every single person in that religion. Michelle Bachmann is on the House Intelligence Committee, and that's the only way that her name will appear with intelligence, because without otherwise it would appear along the words without isn't, or usually accompanies batshit crazy. Michelle Bachmann went after a Muslim or a person, either he was of Arabic descent or Middle Eastern or maybe North African descent, but I believe he was a Muslim, or he's Muslim, and that's where I see just how terrible that woman is. I don't even want to call her human, because I don't know how someone could be so inhuman to go after someone because of their religion, and then claim that there's a war on Christianity in America. I hope the irony's not lost on you. But if Michelle Bachmann and Sarah Palin don't speak for Christianity, then how can we assume that people like Osama bin Laden and Robert Reed speak for all Muslims out there? We all know that there are violent subsections in different people, in different religions. Just like there was a hate group, a white supremacist group that owned a local church and ran it. All white Christians are not white supremacists, just like the ones in Alabama, just like we would say the ones in Alabama who have the whites only KKK Christian conference. They do not represent all Christians any more than Osama bin Laden represents all Muslims. In fact, I know off the top of my head, okay, yeah, they're married. They're married. She's getting married. She's single. Seven off the top of my head that I know would denounce and say that they're wackadoos if they think that they represent all Muslims. And these are people that I've worked with. I know they're great people. And yet, we will sit here and tell people that Michelle Bachmann does not represent Christianity when we won't acknowledge the fact that many of the individuals who are radical fringes, we will say Christian identity or Aryan Nation, who may be Christian identified or something, don't represent Christianity, but we're willing to say that the radicals of Hamas represent all of Islam. That is an unfair statement. That is no worse than saying that I am an anomaly and I can't be black because I'm articulate, because I can make these kinds of videos and I'm not using the vernacular all the time. But let me get to this. There is a difference, because a lot of I've noticed that a lot of in the aftermath of September 11th, a lot of people were talking about becoming martyrs. A martyr doesn't fly a plane into a building, sweetie. A martyr does not blow himself up. That's a terrorist. And while many people say that it comes down to an issue of semantics, the definition of a martyr is I will die for what I believe, but I will refuse to kill for what I believe. A terrorist will say you will die for what I believe. And I lump the Tea Party and the radical Muslims in together. I put people like Todd Aiken and Liberty Counsel and Family Research Council and whoever else says that not only they only use the law to terrorize. They use the law to terrorize. But if anything, I am sick and tired of hearing people talk about the Muslim threat when they don't realize that Michelle Bachmann is just as dangerous, that Rick Santorum is just as dangerous, that Rick Perry is just as dangerous, that a lot of these people who are like so anti-government and want to homeschool their children, and in fact, I've seen some places where they only report once a week or once a year to the state, and yet there's no formalized testing to see if they're keeping up with state standards, because they want to make sure that they can control what's being taught. And the thing with public school is to teach you to not only to teach you, but also to teach you how to deal with different people who have differing worldviews than you do. So, I mean, some of those people that are fiercely anti-government may homeschool their children because they don't want them to be exposed to a contrary worldview. And some of those people end up becoming Michelle Bachmanns. Now, that's not saying that all of them do. But the fact is, they have been trained in one worldview. And how come that's not indoctrination, but teaching people to accept gay individuals is indoctrination? I wonder. But let me get back to it. I want everybody to understand that we have a multi-fabric country, and one minority will not tear the fabric. It's the ones, the right-wing Christian ideologues, who want to do that for us. Or, well, no, not for us, because I don't want to, gay people don't want to tear the fabric. Muslims don't want to tear the fabric. Atheists don't want to tear the fabric of America. We are, no matter what, blended into that fabric. And the only people who want to destroy the fabric of America are those anti-gay, anti-public school, anti-American Tea Party ideologues who constantly say that they're the threat, or that Muslims are the threat, that everybody else is the threat, and they have you loving those that you should hate and hating those that you should love. The ones that we fight we do not hate, the ones that we fight for we do not love. So that's the problem. And they love keeping us apart so they can get reelected. That's another reason why you should vote, instead of booing them and denouncing them whenever they say something stupid. Good day, YouTube.